Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1793, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Which blood sport involving roosters was banned in England? Cockfighting. Which English author wrote Jude the Obscure? Thomas Hardy. Which military decoration bears the inscription "For Valor"? Victoria Cross. By what stage name did Lucille Lesueur become famous? Joan Crawford. What is the most common surname in France? Martin. In the song The 12 Days of Christmas, if you add up every gift given across all 12 verses, how many gifts would you receive in total? 364. Which country had 4 kings named Malcolm? Scotland. In the TV series The Brady Bunch, what was the name of the family's housekeeper? Alice. In which country is the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu located? Peru. Which film directed by Milos Forman won the 1975 Academy Award for Best Picture? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Which Baroque composer was nicknamed the Red Priest because he was a priest with red hair? Antonio Vivaldi. Addis Ababa is the capital of which African country? Ethiopia. Which artery is the largest in the human body? The aorta. Which band performed the theme song for the 1985 James Bond film, A View to a Kill? Duran Duran. What was Lionel Richie's first solo #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100? Truly. The United States of America was named after which Italian explorer? Amerigo Vespucci. What is the capital of the Republic of the Congo? Brazzaville. Which inventor is credited with inventing the modern ballpoint pen? Laszlo Biro. What instrument is used to measure rainfall? Rain gauge. At which American university did the infamous 1970 shooting of 4 students occur during a protest against the Vietnam War? Kent State. Hermes, Symphony, and Anik are all names of what type of satellite? Answer: communications satellites. Which 1985 film directed by Sidney Pollack won the Academy Award for Best Picture? Out of Africa. Which small mammal has traditionally been trained to hunt rats and rabbits? Ferret. Which iconic actress made her show business debut billed as Baby Frances? Judy Garland. Which band referenced a wartime mining disaster in their 1967 breakthrough single, New York Mining Disaster 1941? The Bee Gees. What is the chemical name of the mineral commonly known as fool's gold? Iron disulfide, pyrite, FeS2. Which sport commonly calls its ball a pigskin? American football. Which French Atlantic port was the target of Operation Chariot on March 28, 1942? Saint-Nazaire. According to superstition, feathers from which bird are considered unlucky to display as home decorations? Peacock. Which device, created by Dr. Albert Southwick in 1881, later became a method of capital punishment? Electric chair. Who starred as Cleopatra in the 1963 film Cleopatra? Elizabeth Taylor. What is the name of the boat that famously takes tourists into the mist at Niagara Falls? Maid of the Mist. Which Roman emperor is traditionally said to have ordered the persecution of Christians in Rome that led to the executions of the apostles Peter and Paul? Nero. Historically, the name William is translated as which phrase meaning steadfast guardian? Resolute protector. What device did Thomas Alva Edison patent in 1878? The phonograph. Which branch of science studies the motion of projectiles? Ballistics. What is the common name for the North Star? Polaris. Which seafood is traditionally wrapped in bacon to make the appetizer angels on horseback? Oysters. Vadim Viktorovich Bakatin was the last chairman of which Soviet security agency? KGB. By 1914, what had happened to the passenger pigeon, a bird that numbered about 2 billion in 1880? Extinct. Which academic field studies languages and their historical development? Philology. On which continent does the Amur River flow? Asia. Which Romantic poet wrote Kubla Khan? Answer: Samuel Taylor Coleridge. What is the largest natural harbor in South Africa? Saldanha Bay. Who wrote The Lord of the Rings? J.R.R. Tolkien. What was the title of the last film directed by Stanley Kubrick? Eyes Wide Shut. Which member of the Beatles composed the score for the 1966 film The Family Way? Paul McCartney. Who was anointed as the first king of Israel? Saul. Which insects live in a formicary? Ants. Which part of the tongue receives general sensory innervation from the lingual nerve? The anterior 2/3 of the tongue. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.